Today we're going to be talking about having a frugal yet fulfilling retirement and what that means. Hi everybody, my name is Dee Burks and this is Retirement Rescue, where we talk about how to make money, save money, and live well in retirement. Well, we've talked a lot here lately about being frugal. And I really want to talk about how frugal can lead to a truly fulfilling retirement for you. But first, let's talk about what frugal is and frugal isn't. And realize, these are just from my perspective. You may have a completely different perspective, but this is just how I think about it. For me, being frugal is a very positive thing. It allows you to live the lifestyle you choose while receiving those goods and services at a fraction of the cost. Using your discounts, your senior discounts, any discounts you have for associations, going places in the off season, traveling when it's the most affordable for you, those sorts of things, but still living a great, fulfilling life. Now that to me is different than cheap. Cheap, in my mind, has a very negative connotation. To me, cheap means doing without. Cheap means not living that life. So instead of going places and trying to get the best deal you can, you just don't go. That is not fulfilling to me. And every single person has to figure out where their line is between frugal, which is positive and allowing them to do what they want, and cheap, which is negative, and stopping them from living the life they really want. Now, one of the biggest differences in my mind between frugal and cheap is frugal takes effort. Cheap is lazy. Frugal means you go out and research. It means that you look for those things that are going to improve your life. It means that you spend money when you need to, but try to get the best rate possible. Cheap means you don't do any of those things. Cheap means you don't go anywhere. You don't fix things at your house that need fixing. You put things off. And you know, the interesting thing is, being cheap in the long term costs you more money than if you just taken a frugal attitude and done what needed to be done, but got it done. That's one of the things that I talk to people a lot about, because in retirement, it can be really easy to get into that mindset of, well, you know, I can just put it off. I don't need to do it. Guess what? When you put things off, things don't get cheaper. If you wait until next year to fix your roof instead of fixing it this year, it's going to cost more money next year than it does this year. So when you look at those sorts of things, you have to realize things aren't going to get cheaper. And so doing things you want to do, traveling, seeing the grandkids, all those things don't get cheaper if you put them off till next year. Now you can do that at a time when it is cheap, like in off season, when tourists aren't traveling, and you can really get a lot for your money. There are so many people I know that I would call, just Frugalholics, They have turned this almost into a competitive sport. They feel like every time that they get to play that 5-star golf course for pennies on the dollar, they feel like they've had a win. They're the gold medal winner that day, man, because in their mind, they are getting the same experience, and they are, by the way. They're getting the exact same experience as all these schmucks that paid full price. So to them, that is awesome. It is like a runner's high. And so there's a lot of really positive things that come about when you decide to be frugal. But I'm not going to lie, it takes work. It takes research. But in retirement, you have that time. You can choose to either sit in front of the television or spend your time complaining how you can't go and do anything because you don't have any money, or you can choose to take on this frugal mindset, to make it a game, make it a sport. And it's a sport that really helps your life, by the way, because it allows you to see all the possibilities you didn't see before. Now, when I talked about using discounts, there are some people that just don't want to use the discounts. It takes too much work. It takes too much effort. They don't want to mess with it. They end up not doing anything because they're being cheap instead of putting out the effort it takes to be frugal. And this is really something to think about well before you fully retire. How are you going to organize your life, and how are you going to really take advantage of all the things you can to save money and allow yourself to live a fabulous, fulfilling life? Being frugal and the work it takes to do that research and spending the time to figure those things out is so worth it because of what you get back. You are getting that same experience as everyone who's paying the big bucks. So it really makes it worth doing. But I've also come to realize, no matter how much you encourage some people, and I'm sure you have run across these people in your own life, no matter how much you encourage them, no matter how much you actually show them that they could go and live this life that's fabulous, they still want to sit and complain and not do it. I think all of us come to the point where we realize, okay, that's their Olympic sport. Complaining, not wanting to do anything, not wanting to put in any effort, that is their sport. That is what they would rather choose over living a fulfilled life. But I'm not one of those people, and I'm sure a lot of you aren't either. So those of us who choose to embrace those positive aspects of living a frugal life will go out and have an incredible retirement. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please click subscribe, and I'll see you next time.